video. My typing sometimes. Look at that bad typing. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Hello. Hey, you guys. Hi, Carrie. I'm just going to share this video. It does stupid things, Facebook. I cannot get the hand of it. I should go to stop. Facebook's working differently now, so when I go to save things, it's I keep forgetting that they're working differently. So I got to do it differently. Okay. I'll do that in a second. I'm going to share in Women Creating Healthy Lives. I was going to go live in there, and then I'm like, like sometimes very few people see the video, which is so weird. So I thought I'd do it in this and then share it, and then it's in all of this, right? Again, off, again. Emotional eating, lack of energy, all the things. Let's chat. Why I labeled it this, so funny. It's because in my Women Creating Healthy Lives, I had a graphic showing, it was like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I had people comment what things they're struggling with. And so I wanted to touch on a few of those things in there about that, right? Which included, one was not knowing what to eat. One was on again, off again. And I find a lot of people answered that. What they struggle with was not staying on track, being on again, off again. And then there was the emotional eating one. That was a big one. And someone commented they have lack of energy. So I'm going to touch on a few of these because lack of energy could have to do with a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to cover this first because I know so many people are dealing with this. And this is a big topic, but okay, so for sure it could be hormones, absolutely, right? Because hormones control everything. They control our moods, they control our energy, they control our cravings, they control our metabolism of fat. They control everything. And what we don't know, and of course I didn't know this either, right, was when I was going through perimenopause, I seriously had no idea how many things could be affected. How many? So I started at 43. You could start at almost any age, but that's when your hormones really start to fluctuate and you start noticing symptoms. So you start feeling differently than you did in your 20s, 30s, and even early 40s, right? Now, lack of energy. So someone could just say, so you get caught up in these marketing things like take this juice, it'll give you more energy. Take this pill, it'll give you more energy. That's the thing that I just want to caution you with because it's not one thing. So if you are feeling really super tired and exhausted, like really bonked out, super tired and exhausted, it could be your adrenal glands. So get those checked out. Go to a naturopath. You can Google it to understand it a little better. Your regular doctor will not be able to know about this or test you. So it's got to be some sort of a natural type doctor. And then that takes rest, supplementation, decreasing the stress in your life. It's basically because you're at this high stress level. Which so many women are. And when your changes are going on in your body, that adds more stress. So all of a sudden you got a woman in midlife going through way more stress than ever before. And that burns out the adrenal glands, which produce the estrogen. I mean the adrenaline and the cortisol. So they're working too hard. It's just like, just think of them as a woman, I do. When you keep piling work onto them and no one's helping them out, they're going to get exhausted. That's what happens with the adrenal glands. So that has to, there could be that, and it could be you're not eating right. Foods in midlife that starchier carbs, like even the oatmeal, you guys, muesli, things that we think are healthy, we believe it. They now are basically like simple carbohydrates in your body. They're converted to sugar. They can make you tired because they raise your insulin levels, and then you go plummet down, right? And then they lead to more cravings, which you eat chocolate then, and then you eat more candies, and then you get even more tired. So it's that up again, down again of the blood sugar levels, insulin. Eating can make a huge difference in that, okay? Just so you know that getting rid of the sugars and the super simple carbohydrates are crucial though. So to get back your energy, it's really letting go of the foods that suck your energy. We'd be talking about, like I said, even the oatmeals, even the breads, even all the scones, all of those things, crackers, cookies, even if they're gluten-free, even if they're low-calorie. I don't care how many freaking calories is in a goddamn low-calorie cookie. It's no good for you, all right? You're not going to lose weight. It's actually going to cause you to gain weight because they're simple carbohydrates full of sugar and junk. So it's really important to let those go. And then you include way more veggies and greens, way more foods that give you energy. And even some of the super powders and superfoods, right? Those are highly effective for helping you give your body more energy. But it really takes that and then managing, like noticing if you have your adrenal glands are burnt out. Plus if you're not sleeping. So the stress factor is huge. If you're continually under stress but not giving yourself enough time, right? Enough time to rest up, then you're going to be exhausted. And it won't go away. It won't go away. It just won't. I know people, in our 20s and 30s, things used to bounce back. It'd be like, oh yeah, I was feeling down. Then all of a sudden, I'm feeling okay now. That's just not going to happen now unless you're taking good care of yourself. So those of you who are on, which I love that there's 5 of you on, do you have any questions or what things are you dealing with right now that maybe you'd like some assistance with or some information on, or what's kind of like something that is you're like, this is my trouble area? Could be on again, off again. Could be the emotional eating, could be the lack of motivation, could be, we just talked about energy, could be the weight gain around the middle, could be not knowing where to start, what to eat, being confused. Let me know. Ask me any questions if you have. And let's get into this so that I can, why not help you while you're here? Or I can just talk about all the things, right? Which is what we are here. So I started my 21-day program. So, oh my God, if you are dealing with any of these things, get in the 21-day program because you'll get your answers. I don't understand why people search and don't do anything and then complain and then continue to gain the weight and then lack the energy, but yet they don't do something that can help. So that's why I do my programs. They're there for you. The programs are there. I have a Where to Start program. It's only $67. You get all the information on where to start. Done deal. That was always me. It's like, if you are having these issues, you go, okay, I'm having these issues in my body. I'm not feeling good. What can I do? I'd love to find the answer. I'd love to find help. I'd love to find support. When you find those things, you do it. Then you get the answers and you find the support and you begin your journey forward. That's really all there is to it. Like, I can't explain it anymore. The continual search, the continual staying stuck and I don't know, the continual being, I'm just too tired, I'm too exhausted, I don't have the money. My programs, you can have the money. I don't have the time right now. It's not a good time right now. My kids won't let me eat that food. My husband won't eat the food if I cook like that. Those are all excuses, and you will stay stuck unless you're ready to jump out of those damn excuses. I just lost some people. Well, there you go. Because people don't like hearing what they don't want to hear. So, and I'm really tired of bullshit, so I'm not even going to be bullshitty anymore. Oh God, you name it. Foggy brain, lack of energy, weight gain that won't go away, even though eating clean and lots of walking and activity. Okay, Eileen, that's a great one. So, are you in midlife, Eileen? Because this could be on my past. If you're in, let me see, I'm women creating. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, here's another one. We got some answers here. We got some things. Yeah, well, that's Eileen, who she may not be on the call. So if you're here, all of those things are because of your hormones, plus also what you eat and how you handle stress in your life. So when we have all those things going on, it is really learning. So my 21-day program will show you all of that, even part of my Where to Start program, okay? That's why I do programs, because they answer everything right there and you get the guidance and support live while we're going through the program. So that's my 21-day program is only $147 right now, and you can pay 2 payments if you want. And we're starting, so it's perfect. But Yeah, it could be like your adrenal glands could be completely bonked out. You could be not eating properly. Even though we think we're eating clean, there is a difference between eating clean in your 20s and 30s and even your early 40s than what you really kind of require to eat in midlife. It can be so different. We think we're doing well. Most of the time when I talk to women, it's like 99, almost 0.9% of the time, what they thought was right is not quite right. But it doesn't mean it's deprivation. It just means you adjust a few things. Truly, when they find out, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. And then you start eating that way and it changes everything. So that is so true. Like you can, if you want, Eileen, if you're still on you can put what you eat for breakfast, eat and drink, and kind of your general day. And I can take a look at that if you want. That's a really good way for me to get a shot, to see if I can see something that's really off for you. I can help you with that right now. If anybody else watching, if you want to put in what you eat for breakfast, eat and drink in the morning. Even kind of a snapshot of a day for you, and I can see, I can usually pick out what might be wrong. And cleaning, lots of walking. Yeah, walking and activity is great, but if your stress level is still really high and you're not eating the right things, but the thing that's nice about walking and activity is that if you do it in a good way, it helps you to decrease stress. It's good that you move your body. It's good to make you feel good. It is a stress release, right? But too much activity when you're already under some some high stress will actually deplete you even more. So that is something else that can actually be going on. Hi, Carrie. You'll get those. You're going to get those in the 21-day program because you also get free my healthy, delicious snack recipes as being part of the program. So you're going to get those for sure. Things like Carrie, also being in the program, you're going to get recipes for like some dips and spreads that are actually really healthy instead of being the ones that cause actual weight gain. And such a great thing is like the veggies and the dips or the spreads. Flax crackers and the dips and the spreads, taking a lettuce leaf and taking some of those spreads. In Women Creating Healthy Lives, I posted the artichoke, walnut artichoke dip, something like that, which is totally nutrient dense. It fills you up. It actually feeds your hormones. It's food for your hormones. So also learning what foods actually support your hormones. So you'll get those, and then eating them with veggies or maybe a flax cracker, adding some sprouts, a piece of tomato, things like that are like highly nutritious food for your hormones, help balance your blood sugar levels, right? Because when we eat snacks, those low-calorie ones, those stupid 100-calorie cookies or snacky things, they spike the blood sugar level. They just put us in fat storage. They actually cause fat. Instead, they may be low in calories, but they're actually fat-causing foods, right? Good fats are good. They help you metabolize fat, and they also help you to lose weight, so they're really good. So you want to make sure that you're having those. Even, hummus. Hummus isn't a bad one. It is carbs, right? You guys got to watch out. But it's like, if you have hummus, but yeah, you will eat it because you have so many vegetables, and that's kind of a good way too, right? It's like, because then you're also eating. Laura, you're in my program too. Back pain. That could be emotional, could be ovaries. That's possible. Are you still having your period, Laura? I don't know. Or are you completely over it? I get lower back pain. I get stretching. Could be your hip flexors are too tight. Are you stretching? Are you doing anything? Are you stretching? Boy, do we need to stretch. And Laura, remind me, because I have a great video for stretching for the women in the 21-day group, and I'll post that. Stretching, breathing. If you feel unsupported in life, there you go, stretching, Laura. If you feel unsupported in life, right, that'll do it too. Little worries of money, worries of things. But that will also do it. So yeah, really make sure you need to stretch. And I'll post that video today because that's a really good one. I get lower back problems all the time. I sit too much, and if I'm not stretching. Okay, on again, off again. Who wants to talk a bit about that? On again, off again. What this has to do with is, in a way, it's like the all or nothing attitude, where you're feeling like it's so hard for me to stick with this. It's so hard for me to stick with this. It's so strict. I can't do it all the time. It means I have no fun. It means, oh my God, I have a wedding coming up. This is my favorite one. Or Christmas is coming up. So I think we fear that one little thing is going to set us off and we're going to go on a downward spiral. So that's again all or nothing. It's like, I can handle it when everything's perfect in my life, right? I can handle it when everything's smooth. But when this happens, oh my God, I lose it. I go downhill, right? That's what we have this going on in our head. That's just an story and that's just an excuse, right? Because that does not need to happen. The thing is that you're not thinking it of a lifestyle. So when you are in the place where you're like, my life, the way I live my life is I live my life eating in a way that feeds and fuels my body. I live my life because I respect my body. I love my body. I eat healthy mostly all the time. But I also get to have. Right? And making those choices. So when you are at a wedding, when you're at a barbecue, it doesn't mean you can't eat that stuff because it's only one freaking day or one meal, right? When you think it is like that one meal that, and you choose to eat some of the bad stuff, when you believe that screws up everything, that's when the problem starts. It does not screw up everything. You're not going to gain 5 pounds because you went to a barbecue and you had a hamburger or whatever, right? It's getting, you could be using that as an excuse to go back to eating old things and old habits, getting back into the foods, right? So yes, and I know some people in that thing put, I'm not ready to give up some of those foods. So that's a real thing. For a year and a half, decided that I was going to lose the perimenopause weight that I was gaining on my middle, because that was what I chose to do in that. I said, I'm going to do it full on until I lose the weight. And then I know once I get the results, I will be able to begin then to go back to some normalcy, like to go back. I loved French fries. I love potato chips. I actually love deep fried food, but I can't eat it. I love chocolate. So I do love those things. But for a period of time, I chose to take a different path, as in I made my goal, what I wanted, bigger than any excuse I could give myself. And I never gave up. The thing is that I just had this burning desire to figure it out for me and then to help women. So when I was going through this, I was a personal trainer, yoga instructor. I was already into helping women, right? Live their best life, feel their best, look their best. So that was me. So when it started happening to me, I gained that belly fat. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? I'm exercising like crazy. I'm eating super good like I always have. Why now? So I learned this is what's going on in my body. So I thought, okay, you have some choices, Diana. You could continue on and who knows how much weight you're going to gain. Or you could figure this out now, help yourself, and help women do the same thing. And so because I love doing, this is what I decided to do. I'm like, I'm going to freaking figure this out, and then I'm going to help women do it too. So when I found what worked for me and knew positively it is possible, at the age of 47, 48, I was down to a weight I was in my 20s. Like lighter than I had been in years and years and years and years and years and years and years while I was in perimenopause, which is pretty much impossible for a lot of people. But I chose to say, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. Then knowing that I could start to go back to kind of normal, then I needed to eat more fish, and then I brought in eggs, and then I brought in a few more starches. And now I can eat in a way that is absolutely perfect for me, that I love. I don't feel deprived at all. 0, 0, 0, right? So you have choices all the time. So you can choose the all or nothing, which serves nobody. You can choose to say, I choose really during the week to eat really healthy. Then on the weekend, if I go out with friends, if I go to barbecue, then I can enjoy those foods. But also knowing, is that going to put me in a downward spiral to eating bad all week? It does not have to. The only reason it would is that you let it, is that you actually let it do that to yourself. So then it becomes the mind thing. It's becoming, I'm choosing to stay the healthy path. This is my life. My life is eating this way most of the time. And my life is also every once in a while I get to enjoy those foods. So you can do that. That's it, you guys. There's nothing else to it. Or you can say, okay, the fastest route for me to losing this weight, like if I choose, right, to really do it like I did and say I'm going to be super clean for a certain, see how this works, then you commit to it fully. But that also means you need to change other things in your life. Because if you don't begin to change things in your life, how can you? So you can't get there from here. So you can't change your life being the exact same person you are now. Right? See, seem dark. If you are trying to have a different results, get different results, be differently, and yet not change, that doesn't even make sense. Right? So think about that. Like, are you also working on the other areas of your life that need to be changed and adjusted to get the results you want? Right? Because if you are not, no change is going to come. And then what happens is you get so frustrated because you believe in your head you're doing all this work, but nothing's happening. Nothing's changing. Or, well, I was eating so clean, and then I had this wedding, and then I ate cake, and then it all went to hell after. That's just an excuse. That's a story that never had to happen. But you're telling yourself that, justifying the fact that you see what you did as a failure. But there is no failure. There is no failure. When you, let's say, start eating the wrong stuff again, you go, oh, interesting, look at this. I'm falling backwards. Well, now that I see what I'm doing, I can choose to continue down this path, which does not serve me, never has. Or I can choose to say, that's all right. I'm now choosing health again. I can make a better choice next time. I can make a better choice right now. I can eat super clean tomorrow. I can have salads all day tomorrow. I can get back to it because it's truly what I want. Right? So that is really, that's what we're doing in my new program, Consciously Creating Your Life and Body. You consciously create it. When you don't focus that way, when you don't make these things a choice, when you feel helpless, when you feel powerless, when you feel like nothing's working, that's you staying in that old pattern, staying in the belief that nothing's going to work, staying in the belief that you're powerless over these things in your life, which you never are, right? You never are. It's just a continued choice. So this is where the power comes from. This is when change happens, when you begin to see, oh, okay, instead of saying, I can't, this isn't working, I never get results, why aren't I getting results? You begin to say, stop. What can I do right now? What's the next thing I can do? Where are my thoughts? Are they on what I can't do? Can I shift them to what is possible now? What's the next thing I can do? Hugely powerful, right? That's where it comes from. It comes from claiming the power that you have within yourself. But I get it. When life happens, when we're trying to do this all on your own, when you're at home and your family's all around you or your friends are around you and they're eating and they're saying to you, oh, why do you bother? Those things never work. It's so expensive to eat healthy. I tried that. It never worked. So now I just give up and I'm just eating the foods I love because really nothing seems to make a difference anyways, right? Then we tend to believe that too. You take it on and it becomes your beliefs. And then you go back to those beliefs because it's easy. It's easy when you're surrounded by that. Because basically you have support to stay the way you are, right? And the thing is, when you want to start to make change, it's an inner game for sure, but things around you also kind of need to change. And that's when I think women see, oh my God, I'm trying to change myself, but nothing else around me is changing. So this is pretty hard, right? This is pretty hard doing this all alone. It feels like you're doing it all alone, and it feels like so many things are against you because the extra energy it takes to do this, to make the change, can feel like too much. Can anybody relate to that? How are you guys doing? Does this make sense? Dun, 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 dun. Any comments from you guys? Let me check my other one. Yeah, it can be like, it's a lot. And so that's why I do my programs. Like seriously, I do my programs so that you have support, you have guidance. You're surrounded by a group of women who are going through kind of the same things. And then it's like, so you all of a sudden have the support that of the people around you. And you're like, okay, this is our focus. It becomes, it's so much more powerful when you kind of have like a group focus, because at home you don't often have that, right? With your friends, your family, that's just not there. And they're also used to you being who you were, who you are. But when you go to change, they don't change, and they may not want you to change, and they're not ready for you to change. And so it feels so awkward. It feels so awkward when you're trying to do this on your own. And that's also so truly, you guys, why so many people just say forget it and go back to old habits and behaviors, because it becomes extra added stress and a work. But when you look at what have I been thinking, what beliefs have I been holding on to, what is really stopping me, what do I say to myself all the time, and then say, okay, that is not serving me. I'm going to stop saying those things, and I'm going to start saying things that'll actually help me get to where I want to go. So the conscious language is a huge one. And if you just sit and you listen to people, your friends, your family, your spouse, whatever, how they talk about things, you will pick it out right away. You'll pick it out why they haven't been able to change, why they're still where they are, or why certain things happen. Because they continually affirm that they are. Like one thing I notice for women is they'll tend to talk about a lot about, I still haven't lost this weight. Why can't I lose this weight? This weight is so stubborn. This weight doesn't want to come off. Oh my God, I'm so frustrated. Nothing I do works. You got to remember your words are really powerful, and that will just continue to affirm that nothing's working. Oh my God, I can't seem to get anything to work. This is continually not working for me. Right? And then also the whole, oh, healthy eating is so expensive, or it's so hard, or it takes hours in the kitchen. And I don't even know where to start. There's so much conflicting information out there, which is true. That's why I have my Where to Start program. Truly cut the crap that's out there. But the help is always available for you. It always, always is, whether it's with me or somebody else, you guys. I cannot stress it enough that when you're dealing with things where you're like, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what to do. Seek guidance, seek help, and do it. It is such a faster route to doing that than going around in your head and wondering why nothing's changing and trying to do it all on your own, right? It's just going to take you so much longer. I can't even stress it. When you begin to really get clear on, oh, this is really kind of what's been tripping me up. This is what's been stopping me. This is what I need to work on. Hi, Lauren. How you doing? These are women who are all in my 21-day group. So great. When you really begin to see that you're the one stopping you, right? Because it just makes it, you can get your power back. You can feel more empowered, because every choice you make, every decision you make, all of those things guides you. So you really do have all the power. Even when it feels like all the circumstances around you are the things that are stopping you or causing you not to be able to do things, that's not necessarily true, because there's always a place where you can begin to make different choices or think about things differently, and that'll take your life on a different path or a different course, and you'd be so surprised. But if you never change things, if you never become aware, what do I need to change? What has been holding me back? What should be my next mood? What could be my next mood? What foods do work right for me now? right? If you just keep spinning and spinning and I don't know, nothing's going to change. So that's kind of like my 21-day program, you guys. It's not too late to get in. DianaMarchand.com/21day-creating. Okay. Still, of course, we're just starting tomorrow, although we've started some things. I have some amazing women already in there. They're on the video right now. And so let's do this, because really this is where you get to work through this stuff. And you will do it certainly a heck of a lot faster than you ever do it on your own, right? And then for those who are really like at the very beginning of your journey, I do have a Where to Start program that's only $67, and it really shows you, it's all the food, right? Really what foods, where to start for right now in this phase of your life, and it's all self-study, so there's no time limits and you'll always have the information. So that is there too. It's DianaMarchand.com/where, WHERE-2-start, if you want to check that out. But yeah, get help, get support, say yes to yourself, make some power choices, get back your power, claim your power, feel more empowered, and get away from feeling powerless, because you're the only one who's choosing to do that, choosing to feel that way, right? And there is so much guidance and help out there for you. That's why I'm here. So feel free to reach out. I also do one-on-one. Okay, ladies, any more questions or comments? Let's see what else I had written here. Not wanting to give up the foods. That's one that I'm like that too. Like I said at the beginning of the video, because I covered this near the beginning, you can choose to give up the foods, or you can choose to just have them every once in a while. It's always up to you. The whole thing of not starting, like, oh, then I'm scared to give up these foods, so I'm not even going to start eating clean or eating healthier, is just ridiculous, right? And emotionally eating, we cover in all my programs too, but that one has a lot of layers. But I'm also, if you do not change parts of your life, so if you are emotionally eating and you tend to do that, it's often because you're feeling out of control in some area of your life. It feels like there's something you cannot control. You feel stuck, you feel trapped, or you feel a victim of circumstances. That's often emotional eating. So that requires, you don't have to go deep down into your soul all the time. It definitely just requires, what do I feel out of control? Where do I feel out of control? What is something in my life that obviously must be irritating me, but I'm not facing it? And then you start to see it for what it is. You start to bring it to conscious awareness, and then you start to go, okay, is there something I can begin to do about it now? What little things can I begin to do? You start to get your power back. So then the emotional eating is, you don't have that trigger as much anymore, right? But the more you try to stuff down these emotions, these things that are coming up, these irritations and frustrations that you don't want to deal with because you feel you can't, that you have no control, you try to gain control in other areas. And food is one that is always available, or alcohol. It's always there for you. It's right there. It's easy to gain. It's easy to grab. It's an easy way for you to say, since I can't control this in my life, I am going to control this. And I'm going to tell myself, screw it, you get to eat this stuff now. This will make me feel better, right? So it's not just letting go of that food or never eating that food again. It's kind of just saying, okay, how can I begin to gain back my power, take power over my actions, take power over my circumstances, even the way you think about them. Because sometimes we can't change, like if you work somewhere and you have a boss, right? Sometimes you can't, well, I'm not going to go fire the boss. So there's different things you can do and ways that you can lower the emotional response you have with that person, or not let what they say, do, or whatever irritate you so much. That can diffuse it, and then you will notice that you don't have that emotional charge anymore. So there's many ways you can work with the emotional eating. It's right. There's so many ways, but you need to bring the awareness to it, and then you start. Again, it's what can I do about this? What things are possible for me? Thank you. Oh, Beverly. I think Beverly's watching. Hi, Beverly. All this amazing women. Well, I think that's what I wanted to say in my video. If you're watching a replay, if you're watching whatever, if you're watching me for the first time, to say hello. And I would love to, if you're not yet part of my community, Women Creating Healthy Lives, get in that Facebook group. I don't do all my videos on my regular Facebook. And of course, if you are saying, yes, I am ready to get help, guidance, support, I'm ready to get over this, over my stuff, no more excuses, then come and join us in the 21-day program, because it's still time to get in, and do it now. 21 days, you will have so many more answers, and you will be so much further ahead than if you don't start to take action and responsibility. All right. Take care. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.